As they mark the International Plastic Bag Free Day on July 3, the conversation around single-use plastics has never been more pressing. On today's episode of Carbon Footprints, we are discussing the impacts of these plastics on humans and the ecosystem. I am Edidiom Ibaha.
International Plastic Bag Free Day is set aside annually to raise awareness about the harmful effects of single-use plastic bags on the environment. It encourages people, businesses, and governments to adopt eco-friendly alternatives to reduce plastic pollution. Plastic bags are one of the most common pollutants, often ending up in landfills, oceans, and waterways, where they pose a threat to human health, the ecosystem, and contribute to climate change. To commemorate the day, Clean Technology Hub organized a cleanup walk, mobilizing students to remove plastic waste around the University of Abuja campus. In an interview with the Ambassador of Belgium to Nigeria, His Excellency Peter Lenknet, who was seen dressed for the occasion, with waste bags, actively engaged in clearing waste along designated routes. He emphasizes that the eradication of single-use plastics is crucial to preventing the clogging of sewers and visual pollution of the environment.
Well, it's about, as far as I understand it, getting rid of bags that you only use once, that are made of plastic and that are clogging and polluting and visually smothering our environment. Yes, well, we are downsizing very much on single-use the plastic bags. For instance, we have completely phased them out to the point that if somebody wants to get the plastic bag in a shop, he has to pay for it. Whereas any other way of transporting your goodies and your consumer goods will be for free. That's one thing. Other than that, what Belgium is also very strong at is in recycling the plastic that we still cannot ban from commerce. So we have some of the highest plastic and general recycling rates in the world, also for scrap metal and any other kind of toxic waste. So our landfills are almost empty because we managed to reuse all of these materials after we collect them. And also we sort, so we separately we have different trash bags for different kind of materials, which makes it a lot easier already to begin with to recycle them. So the big landfills from yesteryear, from the 80s and 90s, sometimes now have become almost lush and green places because, waste becomes a resource.
Single-use plastics have become an integral part of our daily lives, but at what cost? President of the Economic Community of West African States Commission, Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure, highlights the regional dimension of plastic pollution, describing it as both a national and transboundary crisis. He notes that over 80% of plastic waste in the region is poorly managed, leading to severe consequences for the environment, human and animal health, and economic sectors, such as fisheries and tourism.
Deeply with our regional priorities, plastic pollution is not only a global menace concern, but a regional and national crisis. According to the World Bank, the region generates nearly 8 million metric tons of plastic waste every year, a figure that is set to rise by 52% in 5 years' time. In addition, more than 80% of plastic waste is poorly managed in West Africa, adversely affecting human, animal health, ecosystem, and blue economy sector, such as fishing and tourism. The plastic waste we generate are carried in rivers and from rivers to sea.
Though plastics have made modern life convenient, the downside of this reality cannot be ignored. According to Mr. Abraham Sadiq of Teens Connects Africa, plastics are not just material problems, but a human and planetary issue. He says Lagos State generates approximately 2,250 tons of plastic waste daily, much of which is not collected or managed properly, thereby ending up in landfills, drainage systems, and the ocean.
Let's take a look at Lagos, Nigeria, one of the largest cities on the African continent. According to Lagos State Waste Management Authority (LOMA), Lagos generates approximately 2,250 tons of plastic waste daily, much of which is not collected or managed properly. As a result, over 70% end up in landfills, drainage systems, and ultimately the ocean, disrupting marine ecosystems and urban infrastructure. On a continental scale, the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) reports that only 12% of plastic waste in Africa is recycled, while the rest contributes to pollution in our communities, toxic open-air burning, and blocks waterways, leading to frequent urban flooding.
In a bid to create awareness about the impact of plastic pollution and promote sustainable practices, an inter-school debate was organized by Clean Technology Hub, which brought together students from Army Day Secondary School Asokoro, Premier Academy Lugbe, and GSS Karo. These young minds engage in a fierce yet brainstorming debate on the theme, are plastic bags a harmful convenience or irreparable necessity? The energy and passion were palpable, and the message was clear. These further buttress that youth participation is crucial in the campaign for a plastic-free future.
Judges, accrediting timekeeper, my co-debaters, educators, students, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ifeanyi Esther, and I'm a student of Army Secondary School Asokoro. I stand before you here today to boldly support the motion which says, are plastic bags a harmful convenience or an irreplaceable necessity? I stand before you here today not only to speak, but to clear it down to my opponents who made an irreplaceable necessity, because I beg to differ with them. But before I go on, for everyone to have a clearer understanding, let's define the term plastics. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, plastic can be defined as a lightweight, strong material made from chemicals, which can be shaped when soft and then hardened to make everyday items such as plastic bags. Now to continue, firstly, plastic bags are among one of the most common pollutants in the environment today. Their lightweight nature allows them to be easily carried by wind and water, which makes them spread easily across oceans, rivers, forests, and even cities. Once discarded, they do not biodegrade easily. Instead, they take up to 400 to 1,000 years. Not to forget that during the process of decomposition, they release toxic chemicals which can affect both land and marine ecosystems. One of the most alarming examples of plastic pollution is the infamous Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a large floating mass of plastic waste, with plastic bags making a significant portion of the debris, which is twice the size of Texas.
What is plastic bag? Plastic bags are versatile. One-piece container crafted from a polymer-based material. Plastic bags are designed for transporting, holding, and packaging numerous items such as food, waste, and consumer goods. 2. Importance to the economy. Plastic bags are ultimate durability champions, able to withstand a whole lot without breaking a sweat. They can carry heavy loads of groceries and products. Many companies use plastic bags because they are less vulnerable to tearing, water resistant, easy to pack, and double up, saving a few seconds. This is why they are widely used by busy cashiers to keep line moving efficiently. Plastic bags can be found virtually every shop or supermarket on earth, most especially here in Nigeria. They provide excellent functionality in the marketplaces. It is a common form of packaging.
And I'm here against the motion, speaking that plastic bags are not a harmful convenience, but an irreplaceable necessity. Let me begin with a quick test. How many of you here have used plastic bags to line your trash bin, or to pack your leftovers from your grandma's house, or to secure your gadgets, your mobile phone, or anything useful to you? I'm sure most of you here have done that. Congratulations. You are millions of people around the world who know the usage of plastic bag, and it's not just being created for its packaging, it literally saves lives. Plastic bags are often vilified, but let's look at the bigger picture. They are recyclable, they are reusable, they are cheaper. That's one of the major reasons for their popularity. Plastic bags are quite cheap. Everyone here can afford a plastic bag, but not everyone at all income levels can afford a paper bag or cotton bag.
The Generation Hope campaign is a campaign that gives children and youths a platform to speak up on climate change. And why was it named Generation Hope campaign? Because we know that in the next, let me say plenty years, let me not say few years, a lot of the adults here will not be here anymore, but the children, which are the next generation, are going to be here, and they are going to inherit this earth in whatever states we live it in. So if we pack all the dirt in Nigeria and we don't recycle, we litter, we don't manage our waste properly, who gets to live in that world in the next few years? The next generation. So the point is, we are giving that generation hope that we are taking the environment and the climate very seriously, and we are also giving them a platform to speak up on that.
There is a big difference between recycling and upcycling. Yes. But a lot of people mistake the differences. When we say recycle, you have a cycle like this, a product going back into that same product. When you have plastics, you turn them into materials that you can use. That is recycling. When you have plastics and you turn them into new products, that means you have up the game of that product. Now you are upcycling. Do you understand? Yes, sir. That's one, because I was formerly a teacher, sorry. Secondly, one thing I would just like to say is that about the debate topic, I think there was a little bit of misconception, and then some people misunderstood what the debate was about. May 25th, that's I think a week ago or maybe 4 days ago, is the International Plastic Free Day. International what? Free Day. Then June 3rd is the International Plastic Bag Free Day. Do you understand?
I wanted to say something the other time. I said, there are two genders. We have male and we have female. When it comes to debate, arguments, who wins? That's very important.
At the inter-school debate, Mr. Chukwudi Nwabusiaku, representing the DG National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency NESREA, Dr. Innocent Bariko, described the initiative as timely and visionary, reaffirming the agency's resolve to enforce environmental standards and promote circular economic pathways that reduce waste and protect public health.
The theme, A Plastic-Free Future, speaks directly to our mandate and national aspirations. Plastic waste, especially the single-use plastics or single-use plastic bags, continues to pile up at open dumps. They clog our waterways, urban drains, and poison ecosystems by virtue of the chemicals that are in them and because they don't biodegrade. But in your ideas, arguments, and creative solutions today, we see hope, we see innovation, and we see leadership. I urge all the participants to see today's event not just as a competition, but as a call to action, a chance to champion sustainable lifestyle and influence policy directions from the ground up. Today, through informal voices like yours and platforms like this, we can build a Nigeria where environmental responsibility is second in the nature. Once again, congratulations to Clean Technology Hub, your partners, and every student here today, let your words ignite action and let your vision shape the future of plastic bags pollution control. And I may add, let us be disciplined to ensure that we do this. Plastic pollution can only be achieved by our discipline to how we manage, handle, and dispose of whatever waste we have. If we are not disciplined enough, we'll still continue like this.
Policies and governance play a pivotal role in combating the menace. To this end, CEO Clean Technology Hub, Ms. Ifeoma Malo, emphasizes need for policy adoption and governance on plastic usage, citing examples from East African countries. She urges citizens to take charge in the fight against environmental pollution by making conscious consumer choices.
We have to get our policy and governance around the use of plastic right. If you look at a lot of East African countries, Kenya, Rwanda, even Uganda, they banned plastic. So you know how you wrap your bags when you're traveling at the airport? The minute you get to the airport, they tell you, you can't enter into town. You can't pass customs or immigration with your bags wrapped. They have scissors and razor blade that they would give to you to reduce it. So immediately, this is a serious country and that discarding plastic or using plastic has criminal consequences. You could be arrested, you could be jailed and fined. So I think the first thing for us is the policy governance to ban plastics, right? We need to get there to say, so that it can reduce. That ban will reduce it. It does not eliminate it, but it will greatly reduce it. And then the second one is like what we're doing here, doing a lot of conscious advocating, especially with young people who are going to be the ones driving this initiative. For Nigerians, I think the message is the time is now. You know, we don't have a lot of time to continue to pollute our environment or to use plastic indiscriminately. So get behind the fact that you need to consciously reduce your plastic waste. Instead of buying bottled water, use your flask and pour water. And the flask actually keeps the water cold, right? So be very conscious of your consumerism at home and be part of this conscious awareness that you need to reduce plastic. And for young people, we've started a movement here. It's now their charge to take it on, and not just here, in every university campus across the country. Do clean up plastics, put up signs everywhere, work with the school administration to do recycling projects, and put in receptacles and infrastructure everywhere. And to the government, please put in a policy to reduce plastic usage in Nigeria.
Like many nations, Nigeria still grapples with managing plastic waste. However, according to the Minister of Environment, Malam Balarabe Abbas Lawal, he says the federal government is keen on promoting a cleaner, greener and more resilient environment. Hence, directives have been issued to MDAs to adopt innovative circular economy models that promote sustainability and reduce reliance on single-use plastics.
Like many other nations, Nigeria faces significant challenges in managing plastic waste. Our cities and rural communities suffer from burden of unchecked plastic pollution, ranging from sachet water bags littering our streets, microplastics entering our food chain and causing public health concern. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate World Environmental Day today, I would like to assure you that the federal government of Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is committed to a cleaner, greener, and more resilient environment, in line with the renewed hope agenda. We are taking decisive steps to address public pollution at all levels. The Federal Ministry of Environment has developed and is implementing national policy on plastic waste management. Our memo was approved by the Council, and we have been trying to come up with a framework for trying to implement that. We provide strategic framework for reducing plastic use, promoting recycling, and encouraging innovation in alternative use of plastics. There are the famous 3 R's. Reduce, that will reduce use of plastic. Reuse, if you must use it, then reuse it. Then just use it and throw it away. So reduce, reuse, and recycle. When you have finished using it, try to make sure that you recycle it.
As we move forward, it's clear that a cleaner, greener and more resilient environment is possible?
Well, I think every country has to get its act together and to sort things out literally. So what we want to do, at least as an embassy, is make sure that we do things here in Abuja as we do it at home. So we've been partnering with the local organization, Chanjadati, to sort our own waste, to separate plastic from glass bottles, from paper waste, and from residual waste. And so to make sure that all these types of waste go to the proper processing or to the proper landfill. Green is already the color of the Nigerian flag, then the actual environment can definitely still get quite a bit greener. Some places are definitely already setting, I think, a very nice example. I notice how Lagos is getting cleaner year on year. And it's probably a thing of the minds. Once you get the mindsets transformed, then usually visibly things change around ourselves as well.
Let us all remember, the choices we make today will shape our world of tomorrow. Let us not pass on a planet overrun by plastic. Instead, let's build one that is cleaner, safer, and more resilient for us and for generations to come.
The conversation around single-use plastics is just the beginning. We need to work together to create a future where sustainability is the norm and plastic pollution is a thing of the past. Join us next time on Carbon Footprints as we continue to explore critical issues shaping our environment and our future. I am Edidiong Ibanga. See you next week.